You guys need to realize and understand that you are constantly consuming things on a day-to-day basis. When I say that, you might think, oh, I'm talking about food, your favorite meal, whatever, whatever. I am not talking about food. Sure, that's a form of consumption, but I'd argue there's many different forms of consuming things. First is physically, you're physically consuming things. But what I'm specifically talking about is you're digitally consuming things on a day-to-day basis. And this is why your life is so messed up, is because you're constantly consuming things that are doing nothing but damaging your mind on a day-to-day basis, because you're not actually consciously aware of what you're consuming on social media. You are literally constantly consuming things on a day-to-day basis on social media, whether if you want to come to the realization of it or not. And because of the fact that a lot of you guys are not actually consciously aware of the things that you decide to consume on the internet, on social media, on Instagram, TikTok, whatever, now your lives are completely messed up, because you're just over here just mindlessly, liking and doing all these things so that your social media algorithm is wired and, presented in a way that is actually doing nothing but damaging your very own mind. And you see, something that a lot of people don't realize is that, bro, your social media algorithm actually is a reflection of your very own subconscious mind, right? So I'm gonna give you an example. So when I first started my self-development journey about 3 years ago, freshman year of high school, bro, when I actually started to do things like elevate my mindset, start to change my subconscious mind, change certain beliefs that were like holding me back from being able to move on to the next level, frequency wise, bro, my mindset, when I actually started to elevate my mindset, I would start to see things on social media every single day that actually started to match with the elevation of my very own mind, with the renewing of my very own mind. So something that you need to be able to realize and understand is that your social media algorithm is literally a personal reflection of how your very own mind looks. So I know a lot of people are always telling their friends, like, yo, you got a crazy For You page, you have a crazy whatever on Instagram and TikTok, or you just be watching crazy things on YouTube. Dude, that's because that's how their mind literally looks like. This is what you guys need to realize and understand. So it's like, if you want to be able to actually start to change your social media algorithm, then you have to start to change your mindset, because the elevation and the renewing of your very own mind will also follow along with a whole new algorithm that's actually going to start to match the frequency of the renewing of your very own mind. Literally in the same way that people are always telling you to be able to fast from foods, right? Do intermittent fasting and essentially do things that will be able to help you take a break from physical consumption of food, so that you can give your body temple a rest, a reset, all these things, so that you're actually able to get your colon working, your digestive system working properly again, and essentially just giving your body a reset. You need to be able to do the exact same thing with social media. You need to be taking intermittent breaks. You need to be doing things that actually help cleanse your mind, and essentially just taking breaks off of social media, so that you're actually able to reset and actually really be able to focus up on your very own life, being able to just focus on yourself, essentially. So literally in the exact same way that you're supposed to be fasting from food, people like, Muslims doing Ramadan, taking breaks from food, you need to be able to do the same thing occasionally with social media, and also the social media algorithm, TikTok, Instagram, any social media app. You need to be able to take a break from it, do intermittent fasting with it, because, bro, social media use is also a form of consumption. There's physical consumption, and then there's also digital consumption. You being on Instagram, you being on all these social media apps is a form of digital consumption that you're constantly doing on a day-to-day basis. Because you're not actually aware of this is why your life is a complete mess, because you're not actually being consciously aware of the things that you decide to consume on a day-to-day basis. In the same aspect of, for me personally, I'm on a diet, right? So there's certain things that I would avoid eating. There's certain foods that I would eat. The same exact way should apply when you decide to get on social media. You should be careful with what you decide to like, the things that you decide to put on your story, and just generally being careful with things that you decide to consume overall digitally. If a person's For You page on TikTok is filled with a bunch of brain rot, I'm talking about like all that 6-7 stuff, whatever, all these new weird trends that are doing nothing but damaging the minds of the collective consciousness, more specifically the youth, right? All these trends that are literally, purposely designed to damage our minds. If you see somebody with this kind of For You page, literally filled with nothing but brain rot, it literally tells you the kind of person that they are. It actually gives you an idea of where their mind is, where their mindset is actually at as a person, and it literally shows you the kind of person that they actually are, literally. So overall, if you want to be able to live a better life for yourself, if you want to be able to live a much healthier and a much happier life for yourself, then you need to actually start to watch out for the things that you decide to consume digitally on social media. The same way that you would be on a diet, you would avoid certain foods because you know that they would do nothing but damage your body tempo and your overall health. The same way you would actually also eat foods that would do nothing but help out your biology and actually start to bring life to your body. You need to be doing the exact same thing with social media. Actually start to consume things that are doing nothing but helping the renewing of your very own mind and the overall elevation of your very own life. But yeah, y'all, so I'm gonna go ahead. That was the video. Let me know y'all's thoughts down below in the comments. Also, big things coming soon. Big things coming soon. Big things coming soon. That's all I have to say, right? But go ahead, let me know y'all's thoughts down below in the comments. I'm gonna go ahead and end the video off that. Thank you all for watching, and that's King Wellness, and I'm out.